the market trading sense right now. But again, my name is Dave Wyse. I'm with Right Line Trading, and I have a trading room called the SPY Super System Trading Room, where we trade options, mostly options and option strategies all day long. And I also have a text alert service where we send out our high probability trade setups on text to our text members. So we're going to cover that. I am going to spend some time on Heiken-Ashi candles for folks who may not be familiar with them or don't use them very frequently. I'm going to talk about how you can increase your basically your trading expertise by using Heiken-Ashi candles, staying in trades longer, and not getting into trades too soon. So I'm going to cover that as well. I'll show some live charts of those. So we're going to get going here. I'm going to talk about the trading room. We're going to talk about our results, and I'm going to show you lots of charts and lots of setups that we follow. First thing I have to do, of course, is the disclaimer. All signals and trading opportunities we provide here are for educational and demonstration purposes only. Trading is very risky, so you should never trade with more money than you can afford to lose. And neither myself or Right Line Trading are licensed financial advisors, so we won't be giving financial advice. All right, so we get started here. If you have any questions, by the way, just put them in the question box. I'll try to follow those and answer any questions that you might have in the question box as we move forward. If not, of something I can't answer, if you want to call Rory at Right Line, it's 786-732-4656. He can answer any questions you might have about purchases or bundling software, etc., all those kind of things. And we'll present this. I'll show you this again at the end of the presentation. Okay, and just to get started here, this is the members here of Right Line Trading. This is our team. We have a team of traders there. And again, our vision is to develop innovative trading strategies that predict the future direction of price and use the information to provide our clients with an edge in trading the markets. That's the key. Trading with an edge, that's what we try to do. We build a community of traders who collaborate and support one another on their trading journey, all with transparency and integrity. And again, I have a trading room that I'm an options trading room that I'm in every day from market open to market close. And then of course I'm doing a webinar night, but I'm there about 9:15, and I'm there till 4 o'clock, a little bit after 4 o'clock, answering questions. And I'll show you the methodologies we use. This is me. I'm David Wyse. This is my picture of me in front of my monitors here. And again, I have the options trading room. This is David Kushner. He trades futures using NinjaTrader. Also, he's a prop trader. He uses prop trading in Ninja. Very successful trader. Craig Emery also is a futures trader. So both of those folks are futures traders. We also have an AI system, automated trading system, that both Mark Miller and Rory Powers present each day. And I'll show you how you can see that on YouTube. But again, this is myself. This is David Kushner, Greg Emery right here. This is Rory. He's the right hand man to everybody. He does everything down there. Sergio Rodriguez here is he's one of the techs. This guy is a whiz at coding, and he's got a master's degree in computer science. Excellent. If you're dealing with us and you want to have any questions on the software, any questions on having some of the indicators modified or set or whatever, he's the guy that does it. He's just a wonder at this kind of stuff. And then we have Charles Sider here, who is also the support person down there, works with Rory and Sergio. Excellent, just an excellent group of dedicated folks there. And Brock Miller here is the newest intern here, but he is also getting into computer science, and he works to smooth out the whole operation. He does a lot of work for me. He keeps my YouTube running up every day, so appreciate that. Mrs. Mark Miller, he was purchased the company just a few years ago, and has made some just dramatic changes in the way the company operates and the direction and some of the things that we're offering to our members, which is really, really outstanding. He basically has a background in AI, which is that's a big help. AI is a big deal now, and it's infiltrating everything. I'm sure you use ChatGPT, etc. But this was his background, and he's instilled that into the AI trading platform that they've got. All right, so that's the group that keeps this place going. This is just a show of TrustPilot. This is a I think most everybody knows about TrustPilot. This is where we get reviews on the software, and some of our competition. We have an extremely high-rated reviews here in TrustPilot as well. Okay, we're going to talk about a few things here. The Compass SMS, this is a text alert service. This is a text alert service that I provide. I send the highest probability trade setups, so we have out on text each day. We don't do them every day. Some days we have 1, 2, some days we don't have any. Sometimes we haven't had any for 2 or 3 days. It depends on the market. We're trading the highest probability trade setups, but they'll come right to your phone. They're on my phone as well, so I can judge how those alerts are working time-wise. I get them in about anywhere about 10 seconds after I enter them and get them on my phone. All right, now what I'm going to talk about here before we get into a lot of things, I want to talk about what drives the market. It's really important to understand what drives the market because you want to be trading when you have some sort of a catalyst in the market that's driving it. And the market is made up of 2 distinct groups. These are retail traders such as myself and most likely everybody else here. We're retail traders. We can't drive the market. We're just in there trading, trying to take money from other retail traders. These are the institutions, and this is what drives the market. And our job as traders is to understand when the institutions are pushing the market and when they're not. And I mean, when I mean pushing the market, I mean they're in there in concert. A lot of institutions all pushing in the same direction, not one pushing up, one pushing down. We're trying to find when the institutions are moving the market. Now, the institutions are made up of, obviously, investment banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, HSBC, all the big investment banks. This is part of the institutions. But they're also made up of pension funds. Huge pension funds have billions of dollars to trade and invest. Also, hedge funds. Hedge funds are hundreds and hundreds of hedge funds with billions of dollars. And then you add to that mutual funds like T. Rowe Price, Vanguard. That's what it constitutes the institutions. This is what drives the market. Now, it's important to understand that a lot of the institutions, they have trading arms where they actually have people sitting at desks trading, but most of their trades are done by algos, computer programs. They have computer programs written to look for specific technical setups to trade. They also read the news. If you've ever watched the market, when the FOMC comes out, the Fed makes their interest rate announcement, or the jobs report comes out on a Friday morning at 8:30. If the Fed comes out at 2 o'clock on a Wednesday, and they put their report out as far as what the interest rates are going to be, what they think about it. If you've ever noticed the SPY, if you look at the S&P 500, if you look at that candlestick right at 2 o'clock, at about 2 o'clock in 1 millisecond, all of a sudden you're going to see this huge amount of volume coming in and going for the market to go up or go down. That's all algos. Humans can't trade that fast. Those are algos that are reading what the Fed's saying and they're trading off of that. All right, so that's what you're trading against, and that's what we need to understand. Algos can be written. They write programs that can identify retail traders setups, the MACD crossovers, perhaps if you're using a MACD crossover or you're comparing RSI or some sort of a lagging market indicator. They can write programs to identify those things, make it look like it's going to work, and then they bust them. And so that's what the institutions do. So our job as the retail traders is to know when the institutions are in the trade and join them, and know when they're not in the trade and don't trade that way. So that's what the whole function of what we're trying to do, the whole objective of what I'm trying to do in the room with the software that we've got and the indicators we use is to identify when institutions are in the trade and join them. Okay. This is kind of a little bit off here. It seems like off topic. This is a blackjack table. Is the ace of spades, jack of spades, couple $100 chips. The reason I insert this in here is people will ask you all the time, is trading stocks and options gambling? If you've ever talked to any friends or relatives about it, they'll say, you know, you're just gambling. You can't beat it. It's fixed. Well, when I was much younger, I made my living playing blackjack in casinos in Las Vegas, and Lake Tahoe, but mostly in Las Vegas, as a card counter. Now, card counter, you might not know what a card counter is, but all it is I kept track of the cards as they removed from the deck, and I could tell if when the players had an edge and when the house had an edge. based on whether the little cards or the big cards are being removed from the deck. If you remove little cards from the deck, the 2s, 3, 4, 5, 6s, and 7s, then when there's a disparity of that, then the player has an advantage. So you track that, and then you make big bets when it's in your favor, and you make the minimum bets when it's against you. But anyway, this is what I did in Las Vegas for years to make my living, for a few years. So trading stocks and options is very similar to that. And without knowing what the institution's doing, the trader has no edge. So in essence, you're gambling. All right, you are gambling if you don't have an edge to the market and not knowing what the institutions are doing. So I'm going to talk to you about a piece of software called the SPY Super System. It's a software package that runs on Thinkorswim, also runs on Ninja. I run it on Thinkorswim, and I call it my card accounting system because this software gives me an edge over other traders, allowing us the ability to become consistently profitable traders. And the SPY Super System, which is a software that I'll show you here, in conjunction with identifying the best high probability trades, can lead to consistent profits. And that's how we do what we do. We have between an 85 and a 90% win rate consistently. I've done it now in this room for 3.5 years, and every month consistently 85 to 90%. Okay, so that's why that blackjack thing is in here, because it gives me for me it's an analogy of how you can beat something if you've got the proper software and the proper the proper methodology. All right, so in the room and on the alert service, I have a couple of rules to trade by. Simple ones. Trade the best, skip the rest. This is, in other words, trade the best. We trade when the institutions are in the trade and the stock is set up the technicals on the stock are very good. Skip the rest. But skip any trade that the institutions aren't in automatically. I'm not going to take a trade that the institutions aren't in. So this is probably the most important thing, because winning trades are great. But if you can bypass a trade that would have been a loser, even though it looked like it was going to be a winner, that is going to help your win rate and it's going to help your profitability pretty dramatically. So the second one is, and I say this in the room every day, our objective is not to make trades, our objective is to make money. And this is meant to keep traders from over trading. One of the biggest problems with retail traders is over trading. They'll have a couple of wins in the morning for trading, and then they get antsy, they get impatient, they get bored. Come at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they feel like I got to be in another trade. They'll start to justify taking a trade. So again, our objective is not to make trades. Our objective is to make money. Try to keep that in the front of your mind. Now, we need to maintain discipline. And what that means is once you learn strategies that work, once you learn option strategies that work and can be successful 85% of the time or more, then you want to follow those, and that's maintaining discipline. Only trade those strategies. And you have to learn and follow the process. And I'm going to go over what the process is to find the highest probability trade setups. You learn and follow those processes. And remaining patient. And this is probably one of the biggest problems for most traders. That's why I say our objective is not to make trades, is to make money. Remain patient. I emphasize this every day. Wait for setups to come to you. Don't be chasing the market. It'll kill you. All right, now we need an edge as a profitable trader. We need an edge, and we need an edge over other retail traders. Don't think that you're going to beat the institutions. You're not going to beat the institutions, but you are going to beat most of the other retail traders that don't have the same information that you do. So our edges are fairly clear. The SPY Super System software, this is my biggest edge because it tells me what the institutions are doing on a 5-minute basis, on a daily basis. It tells me what they're doing. We also trade relative strength and relative weakness. Now, this is something that a lot of retail traders overlook. And that doesn't mean RSI. Relative strength means is the SPY moving sideways and up? For example, today the market was bullish all day long. So if anything that was moving down today obviously had relative weakness. So if you were looking to take a stock short today, you would look for stocks that have relative weakness. I actually did trade CNC today short and made about 40% on it on the puts. But very few stocks today would be short, and I took that just to offset the longs that we had on. We had some other really nice trades on today. So trading relative strength and relative weakness means taking the trades that are outperforming the SPY to the upside and underperforming the SPY to the downside. All right. Trading with the market trend, if there is one. Today was bullish. You basically needed to be focused on bullish trades today. SPY put in a new all-time high today. The Q's put in a new all-time high today. We're still in a bullish market. The market tells us whether we're going to go long or short. We trade what the market is giving us. And then buying near support and selling near resistance, this is very critical, right? This means don't chase. If you see a stock gapping up in the morning and you're looking at 5-minute candles that are stacking one on top of the other, everybody gets nervous. They have FOMO, fear of missing out. They've been watching for 5, 10, 15 minutes and it's still going up and they can't take it anymore. And now I got to get in. And this is a big mistake. What you want to do on stocks like that, if it keeps going up without you, then fine, you missed the trade. But you're going to be a lot better off waiting for it to come back to a support level, bouncing off the support level, and then getting in as it bounces off support and heads back up again. That's why I need to say buy near support, and to short, you're going to sell near resistance. Right? So it's important to know where those levels are. The compass system, which is what the software started as, was called the compass system, now called the SPY super system. It's been enhanced with different indicators and also different scanners. It identifies the highest probability setups, while sidestepping setups that look good but will fail more often than they succeed. It does this by identifying when the institutions are driving the move and when they're not. This is what we've got to know. And it analyzes a lot of complex data and displays the results in easily identifiable visual formats. This is really important because somebody who's fairly new to trading, it's very difficult for them to learn technical analysis. But I can identify colors, which I'm going to show you here in just a bit. You'll be able to tell whether these stocks are bullish or bearish and whether the institutions are in them or not. And that's really, really important. All right, so we have to get an edge over retail traders. Our edge is that we're only taking trades that are being driven by institutions. You're going to hear me say this over and over again. What's the institutions doing? If they're not doing anything, we don't have a direction, we're not going to take it. We trade stocks that have relative strength and relative weakness versus the SPY or the Qs, and we trade in the direction of the overall market. This is what we want to do. This is going to, if you do this, you're going to be ahead of about 95% of retail traders in the world, and there's millions of them. How does this trade give us an edge? Our trades will be supported by the institutional buying and selling. Stocks will be outperforming the index, and they'll be moving in the direction of the overall market. That's our edge, and obviously we need the tools to identify those edges. Okay, the SPY Super System software that I'm going to show you. This is the software that we run that I run on Thinkorswim that tells me whether the institutions are in the trade or not. This is the critical element in finding and trading the highest probability trades. When I show you the results that we've had, they're excellent. I mean, we have winning month after winning month. Winning rates, our win rate is again hovers between 85 and 90%. Remember that when you see those results, the SPY Super System software is the engine that drives these results. All of these results coming because of what we can identify what the institutions are doing. And the ability to identify when institutional players are driving a bullish or bearish move and when they are absent, that's the key factor in pinpointing high probability trade setups. If we look at other things beyond that, obviously we're going to be looking at other technical setups, but the technical setups need to be based on a stock that's got institution involvement in it, right? And again, that's the function of the SPY Super System software, and it's the critical component. So keep this in mind. When I show you the software, you can buy it if you want, but this is something that is just a huge game changer. And by the way, if you want to, I do trade on live on YouTube every day at 11 from 11 to 12, 11:15 to 12:15, sometime between 11 in the morning. I go on YouTube. I share the room. You'll see exactly what's going on in the room. You'll see what all the members are asking. You'll show you the charts. You'll see the SPY Super System up and running, and you can see this every day for 11 to 12. We have a lot of people that subscribe to this. I've had a lot of people come into the room based on watching the YouTube feeds, but you can see this every single day. Right line trading. They have the auto trader is going in the morning, and then I have a trading that starts at about 11 o'clock, and I keep it up for about an hour and 15 minutes. And I'll answer any questions that you might have in the YouTube room, so you can get to see how it works. All right. Now, before I get too deeply into this, I'm going to show you what the SPY Super System looks like on a chart. This is Thinkorswim right here. And this is just a graphic of Thinkorswim, the triple Qs, 5-minute chart, right? But this is what tells us whether institutions are in the trade. And the things that you have to focus on here, there's not that many. This is the current time frame momentum right here. This is a big, big deal. This tells me whether the institutions are in the trade on this current time frame. In this case, it'd be 5 minutes. If this was a daily chart, this would be 1 day. But this is the current time frame momentum. It can be red or yellow for short, blue and green for long. All right. Same thing here with the multi-time frame momentum. Multi-time frame here is red. This is bearish. You notice the current time frame momentum on this 5-minute chart just switched over from bullish to from bearish to bullish. And this is the long-term trend. These are the indicators that we use, right? When we're intraday trading for just a 5-minute chart, and we're only going to stay in the trade for 3 or 4 candles, we use the 5 minutes current time frame momentum. When we're going to swing trade, we use the current time frame momentum and the multi-time frame momentum on the daily chart to determine if the institutions are in the trade. And then the long-term trend. Some of the other things that are on this chart is the VWAP. This is the volume weighted average price. If you don't have this on your chart, you should have it on your 5-minute chart. It doesn't mean anything on the daily chart. Critical on the 5-minute chart. All the institutions trade off of this VWAP. Very important. And then there's this 15 EMA. This is another level that I use for support and resistance. So any 5-minute trades I'm taking, I'm either going to come in for support or resistance off the VWAP, or if the price is far enough away, I'll use the 15 EMA as a support or resistance level. That's how we get into the trades. We also have these pop signals right here that come out. The SPY super system puts these arrows in. These are compression breaks. Blue, compression breaks to the downside. Red, compression breaks to the upside. This helps you judge your entry on the trade to see how good it is. If it's something that you want to take. If the stock is breaking down and you're getting like these pop signals, that gives you an indication there's quite a bit of impetus to the downside. And this is a pivot point. I only have one pivot point line on the chart. It's on the 5-minute chart. It's these are very strong. I don't trade off of them, but I want to be aware of them. So as a stock price approaches the VWAP, from the VWAP and approaches the pivot point, I can get ready to take profits because it's likely going to slow down here at that point. All right, so that's the SPY Super System software, just a graphic of it. You're going to see a lot of these, and you'll see some live ones. All right, and so this is, by the way, just as another SPY Super System. This is on the daily chart of SMR. You might be familiar with this. It's a small little company that makes these small little nuclear devices. We get in on 513, we exit in 515 for 56% profit. All right, so here's a daily chart. So what are we looking for? We're looking to get in when the current time frame momentum right here and the multi-time frame momentum right here are both bullish. And right here, you see it went from bearish, yellow, bullish, green. We have green here in the multi-time frame momentum. This is where we took the trade. Right there as it popped up here, and the indicators told us that institutions are in. We get in for $2,000 invested, 56% profit, produced $1,170 profit. Really a nice trade. But I just want you to see how easy it is to see when the institutions are in here. All right. This was another one. This was a Tesla trade. This is a 5-minute trade in Tesla off the 5-minute chart. You see here's Tesla breaking up. This is in the first thing in the morning. See how the current time frame was bullish. The stock broke above the VWAP right here. Current time frame is bullish. We don't need multi-time frame because we're just going to be doing an intraday trade off a 5-minute chart. There's the pop right there. We take it and we just ride this thing up, and then we get out here as it starts to fade. And notice it switched back to bearish right here as the price came down. It's indicating that there's going to be some movement to the downside. This is the actual indicator, by the way, that we use. This is a modified Laguerre. Modified means we don't have any divergence built into this. This is pure momentum, right? And it's very, very important. All right, and this was a SPY trade, just so you can see again. I'll cover some of these, but here you see the SPY is coming down, and see how it's popping above the VWAP right here, the pink line. See how it goes from bearish to bullish right there, blue. Goes from selling to buying. Take the trade right here. It's coming up, everything's bullish. We've even got a trend that's bullish. We take it right up and we exit as soon as we start to get some weakness right here. You could have stayed in it. I exited here because it was starting to lose momentum, but you could have stayed in it. You notice it stayed green all the way over here until it turned yellow at 12.25. Okay, and this was a day trade. This was an overnight trade on Wendy's. Again, look at Wendy's. What's the current time frame momentum looking like on the daily chart? It's red, right? What's the current multi-time frame looking? It's red. So right here after earnings, the institutions were selling this thing. We took it here and we wrote it down overnight, And we had a beautiful profit in this thing just in an overnight trade. As the institutions were selling, we could see they were selling. All right, so this is something, a graphic to just to lighten the mood a little bit. This is a trader who is doesn't have a methodology. They perhaps are jumping into a trade when it was shooting up in the morning, suffering from FOMO, and turns around and goes against them. They don't have any idea of what the institutions are doing. They don't have a proper methodology, and they're freaking out. And this is what happens to most retail traders. Most retail traders just can't make it in the business. And this is somebody who's actually got the SPY super system and knows what the institutions are doing. I don't do cheering like this. I'm pretty unemotional about wins and losses, but it's still, you feel a lot better when you feel like you have control. And understand, when you're taking trades and you have confidence in that trade because you can see what the institutions are doing, it's going to change your whole mental perspective on your trades. You're going to have confidence to trade these things. And that's really important, because if you don't have confidence in your trades, it's going to be very difficult to trade them successfully. You're going to get out too soon. You're going to stay in too long. It's because you don't know what the market's going to do. Once you've got confidence in the trade, then that's going to help you a lot. Okay, and just to cover here, process precedes results. What I'm trying to say here is learning the high probability criteria, and I'm going to go over what they are, and strategies must come before focusing on results. The reason I say this is so many traders watch their P&L all day, especially if they're day traders. They watch the P&L and they're trading off of what the P&L is doing. So P&L is green, they stay in the trade. P&L is red, they're going to get out of the trade. If they get into a trade and it pops up and they're up $200 or $300, and then it comes back down, and now they're down $50, and then it comes back up and now they're 100, they'll bail. They'll bail because they're watching their P&L, they're trading emotionally, and they feel like, okay, I salvaged a win here out of something that was a loss. Not understanding that the trade is still a technically strong setup. They should be probably adding to the trade there, not getting out. But that's watching your P&L. So learning the probability criteria in the strategies come before focusing on P&L. If you focus on your results without having a solid process to follow, it's going to end in failure. And so many traders tell me that. I took this trade. It was a beautiful trade. Look at how much money I made on it. And we look at the technicals and say, you made money on a bad trade. That's you learn that strategy and you follow that strategy, you're going to lose money. You can take a trade that made money and it can be bad. You can take a trade that's a good trade and lose money on it, but it was still the right trade to take. And that's really important. And that's where learning the probability criteria and strategies come in first. Then you can focus on your profit. I don't look at my P&L during the day. I have no goals for myself each day or each week as far as profitability is concerned, because they're going to mess up your trading. If you have a goal to make $1,000 a week and it's Friday afternoon and you're up $900, you're going to start taking some crazy trades to try to make that extra $100, and it's going to go against you. And that's so again, you trade what the market gives you, not what you think you should be doing. All right, and this is just something, I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's called the OODA loop. I'm just throwing it in here. When you get a copy of this webinar, you can look it over. But again, OODA is a observe, orient, decide, and act. It's just an acronym for the procedure I go through when I'm looking for trades. Observe, I'm using my scans, my watch list, and any kind of news that I hear to identify prospects. Then I identify whether that prospect meets the high probability criteria, which we're going to cover on the daily and 5-minute chart. Identify support and resistance levels, know the next earnings date, because you don't want to trade over earnings, check the option chains for pertinent information, and then I make a decision. Make my decision on whether this trade qualifies as a good high probability trade setup. If it does, make the trade and try to avoid analysis paralysis. This is something I go through just mentally. I mean, this is just a mental checklist. Military uses it all the time for fighter pilots to get them focused on going through a process without panicking about anything, so they can just go through a nice, easy process. So that's OODA. That's the OODA loop. Right, now this is the basic high probability trade setup funnel. This is just something virtually that this is the process I go through. When I look at a trade, first thing I look at when I look at a stock is I look at the daily chart. The daily chart is not bullish, I'm not going to go long. If I like a stock and it's bearish, I can't go long on it. If it's bullish, I'll take it. If it's on the daily chart, it's bullish. If it's bearish on the daily chart, I can't go long. So the daily chart must be set up in the direction that I want to make that trade. And then I look at the 5-minute chart to try to find a good entry point. Then I want to trade with the trend, both the stock and the market, if there is one. A lot of times it's choppy markets, there is no trend. But if there is a trend like today, I was trading long. I mean, I took ASTS, I took Hood a couple of times. We traded Microsoft, made nice profits in Microsoft because market was trending up. We wanted to go long. Now, this is the key element right here. The SPY super system must align. So if you're trading a stock long or you're trading a stock short, if you're going long, the institutions must be in that trade long. You've got to have blue or green on a swing trade. You've got to have blue or green on the current time frame momentum and the multi-time frame momentum. If you don't have that, you should not be taking it. All right, that's going to keep you out of a lot of trades. Then we look for relative strength and relative weakness. So if we've got 4 or 5 stocks that meet these criteria, we want to take the one that's got the best relative strength for a long, best relative weakness for a short. And then we look to enter near support and sell near resistance. So we need to know where our support and resistance levels are. This is all technical analysis. That's the basic funnel. The good prospects drop out the bottom, and we're ready to go. All right, and this is just written out just so you can see the same thing. This is the same as what we just looked at. SPY super system indicators must align in the direction of the trade. Stock to be traded should have a daily and 5-minute chart aligned. You've got to have a bullish daily chart if you're going to go long, and the SPY super system tells you the institutions are going to be pushing it long. You've got to have the long trend that the institutions are moving. The rest of the things are important, but these are the critical ones. Again, the stock should have relative strength, relative weakness. The stock price on the 5-minute chart should be above the VWAP to go long and below the VWAP to go short. This is really important. All right, and the other ones that we've covered already, and have patience. So that's the funnel method of finding high probability trade setups. I go through. Now, in the room and on the alert service, these are the kind of strategies that we use in the options room in the alert service. We do straight calls and straight puts, like we had Microsoft today. We just sold beautiful calls in Microsoft that we've had for about 5 or 6 days. Nice profits on that. Calls and puts, straddles and strangles. If you're not familiar with straddles and strangles, these are non-directional trades. These are trades that you can take if you think a stock is going to make a big move, but you don't know which direction. I took a straddle. I took some debit spreads on coin yesterday, but I've done straddles and strangles on stocks where I think there's going to be some news, or there is some news, and I don't know how it's going to affect the stock, but I know it's going to affect it pretty seriously. Then I would take a straddle or a strangle. That way, I don't care if the stock goes up or goes down, as long as it makes a big move. I make money on it either way. So again, it's a non-directional trade. I do debit spreads using weekly options expirations. I did this on coin last night, took a beautiful profit on coin this morning, debit spread, because I felt like it was going to go up. The stock is very bullish. They were voting on crypto bills in the House, so I took some debit spreads on coin, made some really nice money on that. I do time spreads over earnings. These are non-directional trades. These that we take to basically capture what's called a volatility crush that occurs when earnings come out. When earnings come out, just before, the market makers have the premiums on the puts and the calls jacked up pretty high because they don't know which way the stock's going to go, and they don't know how much it's going to move. So they cover themselves by increasing the price. So what we do is we do time spreads by selling calls for this week, buying calls for next week, and that way we capture the volatility crush when the earnings come out. And then I do a weekly ATM strategy. I'm not going to get into that right now. It's a little bit more complicated, but I have a video on it. We do credit spreads to capture premium over a few weeks. And inside the room, I have a strategy we use called the SPY super system. This is the very high probability trades to catch the SPY, the Qs, the IWM, or the futures. Anything that's going to be very quick move, I do SPY super systems. Now, I can't post these in the room, and I can't alert on these, but I do teach the strategy. I do identify them when they occur. It's an extremely successful strategy. You're only in one trade at a time, but they're very quick. They can be 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 candles long, 5-minute candles. And some people like these, so I do offer the strategy. It's not for everybody, but we do them inside the room. All right, now in the alert service, this is designed for day trades and short-term swing trades. This is not an investment service. These trades were typically going to be out of either that same day or within 2 or 3 weeks. It just depends on the stock. But day trades and short-term swing trades, it's one thing to understand is if you're a trader who is under what's called pattern day trader rules, PDT, in other words, you can only make 3 intraday trades on a week in a 5-day period. All of the trades I take and all the trades that I alert on are structured around the daily chart. So even if I get out of them in the daytime, you can stay in them overnight if you want to, because they're structured to be set up as a swing trade if you want to. That keeps you from having to have to take a trade off for the day if you can't. In other words, you've already taken 3 intraday trades this week. You can't take another one. You stay in the trade and you can do it the next morning. Time spreads, it doesn't matter. Those go on late in the afternoon and come off the next morning. They're never day trades. You're going to get real-time alerts on the highest probability trade setups. And what are those? Well, they're the stocks that the institutions are in. We take a look at market internals. I look at the market internals, and then I do technical analysis on the trades. And I go over all of this in the room. I critique setups all the time. All right, this is my equity curve. Just, this is a little bit older one, but I'll show you some of the results we've had. It's obviously we've got an 85 to 90% win rate. The equity curve is going to be very nice. Not that we don't have losses, we do. Everybody has losses. All right, so we're going to talk about trading Heiken-Ashi candles now. I think a lot of people might have come here to hear about some Heiken-Ashi. So I'm going to spend some time on Heiken-Ashi candles, and then I'm going to show you some Heiken-Ashi candles from today on a 5-minute chart and on a daily chart, and how they can be used. All right, so again, using Heiken-Ashi candles with the SPY super system. All right, so this is what you perceive as this is a chart. And these are not regular candles. These are Heiken-Ashi candles. Heiken-Ashi candles are made up of 2 regular candles. This says British pound, Japanese yen, doesn't make any difference. It could be Microsoft, it could be the ES, it could be gold, it could be oil, it could be anything. But the key thing to remember here on Heiken-Ashi candles, thing to remember, flat topped candles, candles with flat tops, these are bearish Heiken-Ashi candles. These are bearish trends when you've got flat top candle after flat top candle. That's a bearish trend, and they're easy to identify, obviously. Right, so these are Heiken-Ashi candles to the downside. What we're looking for, if perhaps we wanted to trade this long, we're going to look for what's called the Heiken-Ashi reversal. A Heiken-Ashi reversal is when you have a down move followed by some chop, followed by a flat bottom candle. See how these are flat topped? This is flat bottom. That's a bullish Heiken-Ashi candle. Now, one caveat on this is when you have a big trend and it's moving down like this, it's a big trend with big candles. I'm not going to take it to the long side with just a small bullish candle like that. I'm going to wait for a much bigger candle. Now, you could have made money on this if you took it right here, right? Because it popped up, you get a flat bottom, kept moving up, but it gets pretty choppy. This is where I'm going to take it. You see, it goes flat, it goes bearish again. Here's a big Heiken-Ashi reversal candle right there. See the flat bottom after a wick and a tail? Flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. This is your Heiken-Ashi reversal. This is where you would take the trade. Now notice that each one of the Heiken-Ashi candles starts in the middle of the previous Heiken-Ashi candle. They always start in the middle of the previous candle. That's because of the way they're constructed, using 2 days worth of trading, or two time frames worth of trading. These are multiple 5-minute candles or multiple daily candles. So that's your Heiken-Ashi reversal. This is what we're trying to identify and take advantage of when we trade, and we can follow the trend much easier now because we can see these. Notice these flat bottom candles. They strip out a lot of the noise that you get on regular candles. So the distinction of Heiken-Ashi candles, and this is important. The Heiken-Ashi bullish candles, Heiken-Ashi candles have flat bottoms. Bearish Heiken-Ashi candles have flat tops. Important to understand that. Bullish Heiken-Ashi reversals are identified by flat top candles, Heiken-Ashi candles, followed by flat bottomed Heiken-Ashi candles. And there could be dojis in between and other candles, but that's what the reversal looks like. And again, bearish Heiken-Ashi reversals are identified by flat bottom candles and then followed by flat top candles. All right, just like we saw here. This was a bearish reversal right here. Flat bottom candle, chop, 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 flat top candle. Comes back down, flat top, wick and a tail, flat bottom. There's your Heiken-Ashi reversal to the upside. Okay, that's how you identify these. That's what you're looking for. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. This is an article I wrote and read quite a while back. But again, if you haven't used these Heiken-Ashi candles in your technical analysis, you might want to try using them to help you with trading, because I think it will. All right, and most of these things we'll talk about. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. We've talked about the flat bottom candles, flat top candles. I just left this in here so it would be something to review when you get the replay of the webinar. All right, and again, Heiken-Ashi candlesticks evolved from Japanese candles. This is how they're constructed. They combine the open close data from the previous candle with the open high low close data from the current period. That's how you get them. That's why there's wicks and tails in them. You're going to see no gaps in these things. All right, and again, it basically reduces the noise. And as we say here, again, here's your understanding the trends again. Here's this trend we just looked at. Here's a flat bottom candle after the big flat top candles. This is where you would want to reverse it. Now, if this was your VWAP, for example, or a support resistance level, and you get a Heiken-Ashi reversal as it comes up through it, beautiful take to take the trade. And notice how smooth this is. If it stays above this, let's say this blue line, it stays above the blue line. As long as it stays above there, you stay in the trade. Even though you're starting to get some wick and tails, the price is still going up. And then you start stacking flat bottom candle after flat bottom candle. You stay in the trade and you get a beautiful trend that you can see. You might want to get concerned right here, but then this is where you would get out. You see, we went from a flat bottom candles, now we get a big flat top candle. We reverse back down, we exit right here. But you can see how this reduces the noise and identifies the trend nice and smoothly. Okay, and obviously this is true for anything. Examine nearby support or resistance levels to impact potential gains. If you're going to go into a trade long and you've got the 200-day moving average 20 cents above where you're getting in, you don't want to take it long. There's not enough room to the upside. So know where your support and resistance levels are. All right, align the trade with the current market trend, as we had said before. Look for relative strength, relative weakness. The Bollinger Band's expanding. You won't really even need to worry about, because these are going to show you that. And when I exit a trade, I switch to standard candles from Heiken-Ashi candles. So once I've seen momentum starting to fade and I know I'm going to take profits, I won't wait for a Heiken-Ashi reversal to take profits. I'll take it right when the momentum fades, and that'll get me up a little bit quicker. Okay. So again, distinctions, we talked about this. Flat bottoms on the bullish candles, flat top on the bearish candles, and we've talked about the reversals. This will be, when you see the webinar replay, if you go through it, this will hopefully jog your memory. So the recap of Heiken-Ashi candles, what do they do for you? They smooth out the price action, reducing noise. If you're trading off of a 5-minute candlestick, you know you get a lot of wicky candles just pop out of nowhere. They scare the heck out of you, a big flush down. You don't know what's going on. If you stick to Heiken-Ashi candles, those will be smoothed out. They make identifying trends much easier. They improve identifying confirmation of trends and trend reversals. This is the most important thing, at least to me, finding those reversals. Because if you can get a trend reversal off a Heiken-Ashi reversal, you're getting in very early in the trend change. And it helps identify potential exits when the candle bodies shrink and reversals occur. Now, these are a couple of graphics. We're going to go to some live charts in just a second here. But this is Uber, back from 2023. But this is May 1st right here. And these are regular candles, standard candles. See the gap up, gap up, gap up. See this move right here? Kind of tough to take. Now, let's look at Uber on May 1st with Heiken-Ashi candles. See this Heiken-Ashi reversal right here? You see the flat tops? Flat top, flat top, flat top, right? Here's your Heiken-Ashi reversal. And this is off my TC2000 chart, by the way, because I have these graphics on here, but I color the candles blue if the Bollinger Bands are expanding, just to show a compression break. So these are flat top. This goes from flat top to flat bottom. This is where you would have bought the Uber, right here in this Heiken-Ashi reversal candle. This is where you would take it. This is a daily chart. You would have taken it May 1st, flat top, flat bottom, flat bottom, flat bottom. See how it just marches right up and how easy it is to see that trend. So you would have been here on May 1st, sometime in May 1st, and probably would have got out sometime around the 15th. So let's go back and see what that looks like. This is where you would have got in, somewhere in here, and you would have got out somewhere in here. You would have gained all of this by using Heiken-Ashi. All right, so very, very important. Now I'm going to look at some Heiken-Ashi charts from today. And I got to run a quick little scan over here. I'm going to just look at some Heiken-Ashi reversals. Okay, we'll just pop them up. I'm going to show them to you on all right. All right, so let's go to the, let's actually go to the live, Thinkorswim live. This is a live chart of the Heiken-Ashi candles, and this is going to be, this is the SPY super system right here. This is the actual SPY super system that I have running all day long. This was on Hood right here. Got some scanners here that you get that are running, but let's look at some of the ones that I'm showing here. Hershey was one. Now let's switch to the daily chart so I can see what Hershey looks like. All right, so let's put in Hershey. All right, so here's Hershey. Now, if I switch this to Heiken-Ashi candles, so style, switch this over to Heiken-Ashi, that's all you have to do. It's going to show me a Heiken-Ashi reversal right there. All right, see the Heiken-Ashi reversal right there to the bullish side, coming down, going up. So it's a potential long, but the problem is on the daily chart, you see how this is yellow. All right, I don't want to take it until this turns at least blue. So I wouldn't take that one. All right. Here's another one that we've got, which is this is J. This is Jacob's Solutions here. All right, so here, another Heiken-Ashi reversal candle here. We got Heiken-Ashi reversal here, the compression, and now another Heiken-Ashi reversal, which is actually Heiken-Ashi continuation. But you see how nice this chart is and how it moves up. Notice you get green across the board. That's your bullish entry right there. Beautiful bullish entry off of J. All right, let's see if we kind of a couple more. Let's take A-net. All right, so here's again, we've had Heiken-Ashi reversal here. It's been moving up. It's been bullish the whole way. We compressed a little bit. We had a Heiken-Ashi. We had a doji here. Now we got another flat bottom candle. There's another nice entry for A-net right here, and it's green across the board. So that's what you look for Heiken-Ashi reversals. I'll show you a couple of shorts here. We can show you what those look like. Let's take a look at MRVI. All right, here's your Heiken-Ashi reversal candle. See the flat bottom, flat top right here? You got yellow, but you have green here. We can't take it short yet. Got to wait for that to turn. See if we can find it. It's hard to find very many shorts right now because the market is so strong. But this CVS, this is a nice short. CVS, a beautiful short. Here you had a Heiken-Ashi reversal right here. It's coming down. You got a wicks and the tails here. Now you got another Heiken-Ashi continuation. Beautiful trade for CVS to the downside right here. Okay, so you see yellow, bearish, red, bearish. You can take this as a short. Okay, so that's what you look for. And if I switch over to 5 minutes, let's take a look at like Hood today. Here's Hood. Go back to earlier in the day. It's 10 o'clock this morning. Here's a Heiken-Ashi reversal right here as it break at 9:40. Look at how nice this trend was in Hood. Actually had this one, beautiful trend in Hood up. These Heiken-Ashi reversal candles, and you see you start to get out right here. Notice the green was green across the board here on the 5-minute chart. This was an intraday trade for me, but it starts to lose momentum and you get out, and then you see it switches back to yellow. But a nice run in Hood right here. If I wanted to do the SPY today, like the SPY super system type trade, here's this afternoon. Here we are this morning, 10:45. See this VWAP? You see the pop out of the box symbol right there? Goes from red to blue. This is where you take the SPY long right here. As it breaks above the VWAP and the 15, it's got a Heiken-Ashi candle. It's a Heiken-Ashi reversal. You take it right here and you just ride this thing up. That's what the SPY super system does for you. Really easy to find these trades when they occur. They don't occur all the time. But again, that was a beautiful trade. You see how far this went. And then you see how it switched from, you see how buying, the institutions buying. See how they went to yellow right here? It could identify the fact that there was going to be some selling. When this turned yellow right here, we knew there was going to be some selling and it pulled back. You take your profits right there. All right, so that's that was one that worked pretty good. Microsoft also was a good one today. Again, we were in this one already, but you can see the smooth this morning. Here's a compression, pops out of the block right there. Right out there it goes. It's yellow. It's popped out. We got to wait for it to go blue. It goes blue right there. You take the trade right there at 10:35, and you just watch this thing move up, move up, move up, move up, and then you just take it off right there. I mean, this when you've got them in your favor like that, it's really nice. So that's what Heiken-Ashi candles look like on the SPY super system. This is how I use them. This is how we find them. We find them on dailies. We find them on 5-minute charts, and that by using Heiken-Ashi is going to help you if you in conjunction with your SPY super system indicators, current time frame momentum, multi-time frame momentum. All right. And again, these are the scanners. These show cascading up. These are relative strength stocks, relative weakness stocks. And this way here, this one wise bull. These are actually showing stocks that are set up on the daily chart as potential swing trades. And I'll show you that because you get that with the software. By the software, I can just look at these and see what they look like. And there's a big move there. I look at ETN. I look at snaps. These are all beautiful. This coin, all beautiful short longs for SPY super system trades that would be taking swing trades on. This is what you would be taking swing trades on. This Pepsi, see that big? This is earnings. It's popping up on earnings. NSC, TSM. So that's there. And if you just click on these symbols, it'll pop right up on the chart for you. All right. So those are some of the Heiken-Ashi. That's how we use them. That's what they look like on the SPY super system. Now we've covered the Heiken-Ashi. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer anything that you might have on these. But I'm going to take a look at some of the results we've had in the room. This is for the room in the alerts, but I want you to see the kind of results we got in. A couple of reasons I do this is so you can see what your expectations are for profitability. Listen, we don't make 400% on a trade. Anybody's telling you they can consistently make 300, 400, 500% on a trade they're not being truthful with you. You can't be consistently profitable and take that kind of profits. But we'll show you what we've done in 2023 using $2,000 per trade, and that's just an arbitrary number, just so I have something to gauge off of. $2,000 per trade, investing $2,000 in each trade taken in the room, produced $60,000 in profit. All right, that was in 2023. 2024, investing $2,000 in each trade, we produced about $55,000. It was down just a bit. And a lot of the results obviously are dependent on the market you're in. If you've got a choppy market, it's more difficult to make good profits than when you got a trending market. Trending markets, you can do much better. But that's what we did in 2024. 2025 right now, through this point in July, we're up about 30,000. We're right on schedule to hit about 60,000 again this year. This I wanted to point out. This was you remember when the tariffs went on and then they were paused back in April? We only had 4 trades on. We had AVGO, which is Broadcom. We were short Broadcom. We were short Nike. We were short Sarepta, and we were short NNE. And when that happened, SPY was down 10% in 2 days. 2 days. Don, what were the dots inside the Heiken-Ashi candles? Those are what's called acceleration dots. When you have a green acceleration dot, it means that your current time frame momentum is maxed out at the highest it can be. It tells you it's at 100. That's what those dots mean. So anyway, these are the 4 trades we had on. When the SPY was down 10%, we had AVGO. We get in for $75 a contract. We get out for 104, 39%. Nike, we entered for 285. You remember when they put the tariffs on, Nike fell hard because of the fact that they produced most of their products in Vietnam. They were talking about 35% tariff in Vietnam. We get in at 285 and we closed it out for $9. And we didn't know that was going to happen, but we closed it out for $9. That's 216% profit. That's the biggest profit I've made in a couple of years, I think, on most of these trades. But that was a beautiful trade, 4,300. Sarepta in at 450, out at 8, 78% profit. Again, that was about $1,400 profit. And NNE, we get in for $1.80, out for $2.25. This is more standard. This is kind of what we typically take. 25% produce 495. That's while the market was down 10% in 2 days. Okay, and these are the only trades we had on. I'm not leaving anything off during that period of time. That was it. these are our current trades for June and July, just to kind of bring us up to date. These are the trades that I've had in June and July so far this year. June, we had 9 wins, 1 loss. We had Sarepta short, and we got trapped in that thing, took a loss on it, but 9 wins and 1 loss, 2,000 invested in each trade, produced $3,700 in profits. In July so far, 10 and 0. We actually have gone to 12 and 0 as we actually closed up Microsoft today and one other one today. So about 12 and 0, but still the ones I've got written here, July 2025, 10 and 0, 3 open trades, $5,433. And that was 4 days. It's more than 4 days now, obviously. I need to update that. But these are the percentages we typically make on the trades we take. All right. Typically, we're talking about 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, sometimes as much as 60 or 70%, but this is where they're going to fall. This is what to expect. This is consistently making profits, trade after trade after trade, and we're not trying to swing for home runs because you're going to get crushed doing that. But for trades we take, these were really beautiful. Nice VRT 40%, his hood 25. Microsoft today was a really nice win as well. Right, so this is what we've done in June through July. To go back to January 2024, now I'm just going to zip through these. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these, but I want you to just see what 2024 looked like, and just so you can see how these percentages stay around the same. We did have 96% here in Boeing. We took 100% loss in Gilead. Excuse me, but this is what you're going to see. 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% in that range. That's what most of your percentage gains are going to be. This was a nice run, 7,500 last January of 2024. February, we did 11.7. This was our best month last year. But again, see the percentages stay the same. A lot more trades because the market wasn't so choppy then as it is now. We have to take fewer trades now because the market's so choppy. But again, this was a 92% win rate in February. All right. May, just jump ahead to May. These are time spreads I just wanted to show. These are time spreads we do on earnings. When earnings season gets cranked up, which is getting ready to go right now, we do quite a few time spreads. Again, 15 and 2, 88% win rate. In the room, we had 81%. The alert at 88%. Again, 86% here in the room in June, 92% in the alert service. We only had 15 trades. But you can see the percentages. This is the most important thing. They stay around the same, same range. Same thing with July. It's August. And you can look at these if you want more details, but I try to be very transparent about these things. I show you the loss here. It's September, and the reason I put this in, this was our only losing month last year. All right, so again, 8 wins and 5 losses, terrible 62% win rate. Only lost, but we lost $1,700, $1,786. Alert was down $295. Tough month for trading. Didn't make a lot of trades. And then October, we bounced right back with 17 and 3 with 7,448. So we lost 1,786. We made 7,448. All right. And the alert service did 6,000. So again, same percentages. And I'm not going to keep going through these, but that was last year. Here's January through April of this year. Very consistent. 84, 89, 83, 85. These are our win rates. Making money each month. Only 3,000 this month, 7,000 this month. Whatever the market takes, gives us. That's what we take. Now, to know what the alert service is going to look like, if you get an alert, the first alert you're going to get, this was on the Nike alert that we had on 3/28. You're going to have date, Nike. It's going to say the stock symbol, the strike price by the April 11th, 67 puts. April 11th is your expiration date. 67 puts, that's your strike price. How much to pay for them? Sometimes that might be a range. Might say 285 to 295. Then you get another alert for the sell order price. I'll say I put a sell order out, sell it for $9. And then you'll get a final alert when say they were sold when we close the trade. So you get like three alerts at least on each trade. And there may be some adjustments. You might be at a sell order for 9. Then it might not get filled. I may have another one out there and say, okay, let's make that 850. But that's what you're going to get on all your alerts, and that'll come to your phone. Okay, and how do we achieve these stunning results? I've pretty much covered this. We're able to identify when institutions are driving a trade and when the market internals are heavily bearish or bullish. Market internals being total volume of up stocks minus total volume of down stocks. That's how I look at the market internals. So we only take trades when both of these are in our favor, allowing us to align our trades with the institutions in the market. Okay? And the SPY super system software identifies these institutions when they're creating a trend. We do what's called a triple screen assessment. We're looking at momentum. We're looking at it across 3 different time frames. If you're looking at a 5-minute chart, it's looking at the 5-minute, the 15-minute, and the 45-minute. It's looking at all 3 of those. For those to be green or blue, all the institutions have to have momentum across those time frames. All 3 of those time frames have to be moving in the same direction. Now, something to understand about momentum. Momentum just doesn't mean you're getting green candles. A lot of people think if a stock's going up, it's got bullish momentum. But momentum is, technically, this is how you just define momentum. If you take a 5-minute candlestick, you look at the open and the high, and then the close. As the close of each candlestick gets closer to the high of the candlestick, as it moves closer and closer to the high of the candlestick, that's momentum. And it has to be doing that across 3 different time frames to tell us that the institutions are in there. When that occurs, it's a very high percentage likelihood that institutions are moving that trade, because the fact that that's not going to happen when retail traders are doing trades. All right, and we look at trend and we look at money flow, but this is the key thing, is momentum. All right, so again, here's the chart. We've looked at this. All right, we looked at current time frame momentum, multi-time frame momentum, long-term trend. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple of trades. Now this is if you buy the SPY Super System software, this is one of the templates you get. It's got all of these indicators on here. You'll also get this template in case you just want to do intraday trades, SPY Super System trades that are going to last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles, because this is all you need. You just need the current time frame momentum, you need the VWAP, and you need the 15 EMA, and your pop symbols, the pop out of the box symbols. So you can get this template, and you get this template, and you can flip them back and forth. All right. This was a SPY Super System trade here using a Heiken-Ashi reversal candle on the Qs. This is a 5-minute chart. See how we get in right here. You see how we get a Heiken-Ashi reversal. See the wicks and tails, flat top, right on the 15. See how this went from buying to selling, green to yellow. There it is. Institutions are selling it. We take it right here and we write it down, and it must stay below the 15, which is a little thin red line. As long as the price stays below there, you can stay in the trade. Right, and I don't even know how much we made on this trade. It was quite a lot because it stayed in for a long time. I just want you to see how you can identify the trend here and see that the institutions are selling. You can see they're selling on multi-time frame, but they're selling on current time frame, and that's what we wanted for that. I'm just gonna roughly go through this quickly. This is for folks who like to trade intraday trades, really quick trades. Some people call them scalps. I don't call these things scalps. They're off of 5-minute charts, but they're only typically done on the SPYs, the Qs, the IWM, or the futures if you want to trade the futures. But they come very quickly. You can get several of them in a day. You're going to see the numbers here are very high compared to what we usually get. But you're in one trade at a time, and you have to watch it. The short duration trades, you have to be watching that you can't step away from a trade that you're in for the SPY Super System. But these are my results. Since I don't post them, I tell you in the room when I see one setting up. But these are the results I've had with it. And you can see they're pretty impressive, right? In here in August, we had 56 wins, 6 losses, 2 scratches. So it can be a lot of trades. But I have a lot of folks that use this. They buy the SPY Super System. They have it up on their Thinkorswim, and that's what they do. They trade just intraday quick trades like this. But you have to be good at reading price action. It's not something for everybody, but this is what we had on them. Here's November and December. Nice results. I mean, really, 69 and 15 in December. This was last quarter last year. Now, it's important to understand these SPY Super System trades that I just mentioned, that are just 5-minute trades off of 5-minute candlesticks. We had 4,831 profits in October. In the room, we had 7,448. These are not inclusive. This is completely separate from this. This is completely separate from this. These are 2 separate methodologies. This is where I'd be sending out trades and posting them in the room. If you were in the room or in the alert service, this is what you would have, and if you followed all my trades, you would have the exact same results, roughly speaking. But for here, these are my results, and I can't call them out. All I can do is tell you when I see this setting up. You're responsible for your entrance and exits and all of these kind of trades. But you've got the tools to make this thing really, really successful. These SPY Super System trades are excellent. right? Here was November, same thing, December right here. So this is what it did in the last quarter of 2024. 87% win rate on the SPY Super System, 86% win rate in the room, 156 wins, 24 losses in October to December in the SPY Super System. A lot of trades, 24,000 up, 17,000 up on October, December in the room. All right, so just so you can see the difference, that's a strategy that not everybody's going to want to use, but I want you to see it. And I'll run through these fairly quickly. This is a SPY Super System trade. This was a 5-minute trade off the SPY. This is back in August, I think. This is back before I even had this indicated down here. It was the gear, but this is a current time frame momentum. This is all you're looking at. Current time frame momentum, VWAP, 15 EMA. Get in here. As it popped up, see how it went red to blue? Selling to buy. Pops up off the VWAP. You buy it there. You get out up here, $220 per contract profit. Okay. Another one here on the SPY Super System. You get in here, I get in here, and I get out right here. Very quick trade. It went bearish, and I took it here, but it pulled down and started to pull back up again, so I just took it off very quickly. $90 profit on that one. These are Heiken-Ashi candles. See the Heiken-Ashi reversal? That's the same one here with the single modified layout. Just has the current time frame momentum on it. And again, here's another one with a new template. The SPY Super Systems only. This is for intraday quick type scalping trades. All right. And where you would take it here, you notice this is green, went to yellow here. This is where you take it. It went to blue and popped up right there. You could have taken it right here, actually. This thing turned yellow and probably would have stayed in it. But this is where it would likely be taken. And then you exit right here. Notice it goes back to yellow. You're out of the trade. Very simple to follow when they occur. SPY Super System trade here. Green across the board. It moves up right here as it compresses and pops above the 15, $130 profit per contract. IWM, so again, here's the IWM, same thing. Get in right here as it goes to blue, goes from selling to buying. You take it, it doesn't really go anywhere for a while. It's kind of moves sideways, but it stays above the 15, and then you get out up here, $90 for profit per contract. All right. Another SPY Super System trade here. This was a beauty. Again, it was already red. You're waiting for compression to break. See how it comes off the VWAP, the pink line. See the pop signal right there? You grab it right there. It breaks down, and then you stay in this trade as long as it stays below the VWAP, and then as long as it stays below the 15, you stay in the trade. Notice it goes from red to blue, selling to buying. You're out, right? Institutions are coming back in again. Time to get out. Another one right here. So just so you get the idea, I don't want to show through too many of these, but I think you can see here's red, here's blue. We're buying it. We wait for compression break. It moves to the upside. $150 profit per contract. Most of these generate somewhere between $70 and $150 per contract profit. Another SPY one here. This I just wanted to show as an example. Here's selling, buying, blue right here. But see where the price is? Right at the VWAP. Again, right at the VWAP. This is where you would take it. As it breaks above the VWAP, the institutions are in buying it. This is where you would take the trade, and then you would get out right here. Notice it goes from green back to yellow, right there. But I'd have been out right there. All right. So again, we've had quite a few of these. This is when I took it short. As it broke below the VWAP, took it short, wrote it down, see it selling. I take it off right here. It goes back to blue. Now they're buying again. So the institutions come in, they're selling, I take it short, they're buying. I take it long as it breaks above the VWAP in the 15 right here, and I write it up to this pivot point. So that I took it profits short, took profits long. Right, another one here just so you can see it. You can see where it's green, it's yellow, it's red. Right here, it's red. This is where you want to take it as the selling begins and heads down. Okay, so those are SPY Super System trades, and we're going to look at some trades of regulars. This was SMR. This was a daily trade. I showed you this one before. Notice right here is where we would take it. Right, it goes from yellow on the current time frame to green. This is current time frame momentum on a daily chart. This is multi-time frame momentum on a daily chart. For swing trades, both of these need to be green or blue for long, red or yellow for short. It's really not that complicated. And pops up right here. We take it right here. We'll make a nice profit on SMR. Nike, I told you about this one. This is where we get in on the 28th. right here. See the selling? We take it here as it comes out of compression. We stay in it. And some people actually took some profits here. We stay in it, and then we get this big flush down off of the tariffs. Bam, right there, we're out. And you see it came right back up again. That was a huge trade. Sarepta, same thing. Right here on the 28th, compresses. We take it short here. We write it down. We get out. Everything's red. Institutions are selling the heck out of this thing. It's easy to see that they are. This was a trade on HIMS that I really kind of messed up. I should have taken it here, right here when it went green. Right there is where I should have taken it. I didn't. I got it here. The VWAP, by the way, does not count, or you don't use this on the daily. This is a daily chart. You ignore the VWAP. But this is where I took HIMS. I got a 25% profit in it. I get out pretty quickly. I did leave a runner on. I actually left a runner, one option on that was up 269%. I don't count that in my records. I counted this as a 25% win. Palantir, beautiful trade here in Palantir long. We get in here. We're in it for 2 days. Notice it went from yellow selling to buying buying green right there. We buy it, we get it here, and we get the 31% in 2 days. Lulu, another beauty. We took it here, gap down in earnings. We wait for compression. It goes from, see how it went from blue on the multi-time frame to yellow to selling on the daily. We take it right there. And that's what we took it. And we took again in it at 192. We get out the next morning for $300 a contract. Right. Amazon, this is an intraday trade, 5-minute chart. If you're interested in intraday trades, this is where we took it as it comes right across here. Probably could have taken it here, but see, it's yellow. Then it went green. I know the institutions are in now. I got a pop symbol. I take it here, 32% profit in 45 minutes. As long as it stays above the 15, we stay in the trade. Nice one, ENPH, 20% in an hour. Compresses, pops down. Here's the red. Look at the institutions selling the heck out of this thing. We know which direction we're going to go. We see it pop out of the box here. We take it. We write it down for an hour, make 20%. And Verizon, 50% in an hour. Took it here, right here, compressed. See that? Everything's red. They're selling it off. We take it as it breaks down below the VWAP of the pop symbol. We write it down for an hour, 50%. Okay, this was Tesla. This is when we took overnight because everything was bearish on the daily. Right here, you see this is a 5-minute chart. See, it was bearish at the end of the day. The current time frame was bearish. The multi-time frame was bearish. The trend was bearish. So we took it short, took a chance, took some puts overnight. It fell from 120 to 112. Puts exploded. We get out way down here. A lot of money profit, a lot of money made in that trade on Tesla. Okay, so those are the charts. That's the strategy. The SPY Super System software is the key to the results we've had. As I said, very, very important. Just a recap of the strategies we use in the room. This is what you'll see on your alerts. Where you won't see any SPY Super Systems posted in the room or in the alerts, but I'll let you know when I see them setting up, and you can learn to do that. Okay. Now, what they're offering here, the specials, and I want you to understand this, 3 specials here, but if you want to do a mix and match or anything, you just call Rory. He'll do this with you. But basically, you can get a free 2-week trial, which is going to give you the alert service and the trading room. You'll be in the trading room and the alert service for 2 weeks. And you also get to see all my videos. I get about 30 videos. It goes over all our strategies, all the indicators, basically how to use them all, how to use strangles, how to use straddles, how to find the highest probability trade setups. For 2 weeks, you get it. And after 2 weeks, and you can cancel anytime, $396 a quarter after the 2-week trial. Now, if you want to get a really good prices here, they've got a deal here that's really pretty amazing. This is a one-time payment. This is just, you buy it once, you're good forever. You don't have to renew ever. This is on the text alerts. You get my master class, all of the training videos, and you also get a private Discord access. We've got a Discord room with 2 other professional traders in there. This is $24.96. Now this one here, this is $24.96. Okay, this is for the SPY Super System software. This is actually the software that we just talked about, and you get the live trading room access as well. All right, for an unlimited time. This is forever. All right, so you get the SPY Super System software and you get the trading room forever on this. That's $24.96. This is an amazingly good deal here because the software itself is usually about $1,900. So you can get the software and the trading room, which the trading room, obviously you can see it's about $400 a quarter. So typically, if you're getting it for a year, it would be about $1,400. You can get the SPY Super System software, the training room, and all the training videos and the Discord room for $24.96 forever. That's for lifetime. So those are really pretty impressive deals. Now, if you have any questions on any of these, you call Rory at 786-732-4656. He'll answer any questions you've got. If you have something, a different kind of mix and match you'd like to do, just tell him what you want, and he'll walk you through it. But this is the ones that they're offered for special. This thing right here, this one-time payment with the SPY Super System software and the live training room, this thing is a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. $24.96 is the same as this. So take advantage of it if you think the software can help you. And it can help you. Believe me, it helped me a lot. All right, so those are the offers. But again, make sure you call Rory if you have any questions on any of these. 786-732-4656. All right, and in the chat box here on the webinar, you're going to see those offers out there. You can click on them. It'll take you right to the offices, or you can talk to Rory about it. Okay, that's pretty much what I've got today. I hope the Heiken-Ashi discussion helped you a little bit. It's helped me a lot. I think it's important for people to learn some different strategies and some different setups to improve their trading. I mean, I think we have the very best strategies, the very best methodologies you can get for doing day trades and swing trades in our room. I think the results show that. And I'm in there every day from market open to market close. I don't know many rooms, I don't know any rooms actually have somebody in there discussing trades with you all day long and showing those charts. Again, you will see this chart up in the room all day long with the scans. We'll switch this over to whatever trade we're looking at, like ASTS. We're in this long right now. See the beautiful long? And we're in hood right here. Whoops, there it is. It's hood right there, another beautiful long. And again, we took profits in Microsoft today. Why did we take Microsoft? Look at Microsoft. We took it. Look how we got in this over a week ago. Look at how bullish it was. Look at the green. Very nice. Okay, so that's what you would be in the room. You'll have these. If you buy the software, you'll get the scanners. But if you're in the room, we'll be talking about these all day long, and I do as much as I possibly can to help traders become better traders. All right. Again, thank you very much. Appreciate you taking some time to listen to me. I know it's been a long day of information, but again, 786-732-4656. Any questions, give Rory a call. And again, thank you very much for being here today. I know it was a long day for everybody, and long day for me trading and coming back in here. So I appreciate it. So have a great evening, and best of luck.